I'm gonna record this just to make my life easier. Memory is not what it used to be. I'm going to reintroduce myself. For the record, I am Detective Guillaume. I'm talking today with Maeve Saxton, Jacqueline Devereaux's youngest daughter.
Sorry, that's only daughter. Eleanor's my stepsister. I guess father had another marriage before meeting mother. I've always been unclear about it, but frankly uninterested in the details. He didn't talk about her much, but I've grown up with Eleanor my whole life.
Sorry, my mistake. Would you say you and your sister are close?
Close? That's a word for it. She's my sister, but we're about as close as two adults can be. She has her life, and I have mine. They don't really intersect besides at family parties.
And that's what you were doing 2 weeks ago on the night of Jacqueline's disappearance. A family party?
Yes, it was Jacqueline's 60th birthday party.
And how was the party?
Oh, it was great. Mother's always had a soft spot for Maisie. Dotes on her constantly. Even on her own birthday, she was going out of her way to make Maisie happy.
And Maisie?
Maisie what?
Does Maisie share the same affection for her grandmother?
Maisie loves her grandmother. We've been living together most of Maisie's life, so she's much like a second mother to her. Those two have quite the bond.
And how would you say Jacqueline was that night?
Per usual. She and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. Our relationship has been strained ever since father passed on, but I try my best with her. You've got to see the good, you know?
And how was the party?
It was fine, not too exciting. I don't really have much to talk about with anyone besides Desiree. I've known her my whole life, and we get along well. I try to avoid Maisie if I can. That girl is an absolute terror. But it's always my intention to be good to Jacqueline, especially that night. It was her birthday after all.
Tell me about your relationship with your sister.
Well, we've grown up together, but I've never really seen the world through her eyes. Money, the family's money, has always been her focus. Between us, I'm pretty sure Benjamin married her, just for that and no other reason. Personally, I've always believed that excess money should be shared to help those in need. I wish my stepmother felt the same.
Ah, yes, there's much of your father in you.
You knew him well?
Yes, indeed. He was my Batman in the war. Pity he was lost to us so young.
Even though these people are my family, without father, I've always felt like the odd one out.
For the record, I'm speaking with Benjamin Saxton, husband of Maeve. How long have you known Jacqueline Devereaux?
Well, let's see. I guess as long as I've known Maeve. So, such a close family.
So Maeve and Jacqueline were close?
Oh, thick as thieves. Between you and me, this is hitting her the hardest. Her and Jacqueline were definitely the closest. Besides, maybe her and Maisie.
Can you tell me at all about the relationship between Eleanor and her stepmother?
Eleanor and mother were good together. The whole opposites attract thing. Jacqueline raised us both from childhood and has done her best.
So there was never any bad blood between them, even when Klaus wasn't around anymore?
I don't know what you're implying, but if you think that I will share family business to a stranger, a detective no less,
She's a weirdo. Eleanor has always been the odd one out. And her and Jacqueline had a huge fight a week before the party. I don't know what it was about, but I came to the house and I walked up the driveway and I heard screaming, and then Eleanor walked out. So,
What? Benjamin said what? No, we did not have a huge fight.
I'm just trying to get an accurate impression of the events leading up to her disappearance. What were you and Jacqueline conversing about?
Jacqueline, you can't be serious.
Oh, but I am, and you don't have any right to question my decisions.
But Desiree is like part of the family. She basically raised Maeve and me, and you'd fire her for what? To save a couple of dollars?
That's not why you can't possibly understand my motivations.
But
Desiree has to go.
But I know this isn't what Father would have wanted. He brought Desiree to help out years ago. She's practically part of the family.
You don't know anything about the family. With Klaus gone, you're barely part of it. I only keep you around to humor Maeve. If it were up to me, I would have set you adrift long ago.
That's not fair!
In fact, if I were you, I wouldn't count on seeing a penny of your father's money.
I'm going to make sure you can't do anything with Father's money ever again! We had talked about the catering for the party. Our normal caterer canceled at the last minute. I was trying to convince Jacqueline that we didn't need to hire another one, that we could just make the food ourselves, but she would have none of it. The people in this family aren't very independent. However, if you want to talk about a fight, Maeve and Jacqueline had a big blowout the day before the party.
I heard that you and Jacqueline were arguing. The staff say that they heard you two in the study and heard the phrase, you'll see, one day I'll get what I want.
What is it that you want now?
Oh, nothing really. Just I think it's time for me to be in charge of the family's finances. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time. I think it's time for a change.
Excuse me? Time for a change?
Well, I'm just saying, you're not exactly the best with money. What's the point of having a fortune if you're not going to spend it?
I'm not gonna have you lecture me about how to spend my money. Remember, you don't get a cent unless I say so.
Mother, you hold that over me all the time. I support this family. I'm 43 years old. You're turning 60 tomorrow. Don't you think it's time for a change? Plus, if you let me, you'll see how capable I am.
I will not have any of this insubordination.
Fine, if you want it that way. But you'll see one day soon, I'll get what I want. Oh, that? Hardly an argument. I wanted to start breeding Hamlet, but Mother thinks puppies will ruin her broadloom carpeting. Anyways, I went ahead and set up a time this week so that I could buy one. I just meant that one day I'll get the dog I want. That's it. Nothing too crazy.
Of course. Thanks for clearing that up. Benjamin, you seem to have a good handle on everyone's comings and goings in the house. Do you recall any details of the party, specifically what time everyone left that night?
oh yeah, people really underestimate me, but I have a totally clear memory of that night. Let me see. Well, Eleanor was talking to someone over in the living room. I think my wife was with Maisie. She might have been getting up to some sort of trouble. Kids these days. And I was playing some beautiful, beautiful Beethoven over in the corner on the piano, serenading everyone. Alright? As for when people left, well, me, my wife, and my daughter all live here. So, Eleanor left sometime after cake, maybe 8? I don't know. It was night, and my astrologist told me to be very wary once the stars come out and there's a full moon in the sky.
Oh, it was a full moon that night?
Yes. I don't know. Better be safe than sorry.
So, you're big into astrology?
Oh yeah. Astrology, aromatherapy, archaeology, all the A's. You want to get your palm read? My psychic's really good. Super, super gentle. Just some minor scrapes and bruises. Yeah, so I guess you could say that I'm the most down-to-earth and observant person in this family. No one else is more inside themselves than I am. And, of course, everything I said is off the record.
What? No, I said it was on the record. And of course it is. It's an investigation.
Yeah, that's what I said. Everything is on the record.
Ah, Desiree Miller. Finally we get a chance to talk. I wanted to speak with you last. You can get many stories from within the family, but it takes an outside perspective to get to the truth. Please tell me, with as much detail as possible, the events of Jacqueline's 60th birthday.
Desiree, what I'm about to tell you has to stay between us.
All right.
Promise.
I promise. Oh, what are you talking about?
I feel like I'm being watched, and you're the only person that I can trust. Klaus told me the exact same thing before he disappeared. I only wish now that I had taken him seriously. He believed someone was after his fortune, and he didn't know who or why, but soon after, he was gone.
I don't understand.
Not now. You have to listen and do exactly as I say. I'm going to escape. I'm not going to disappear like Klaus did. I'm going to get out of this house, out of this country, and hide. It's the only way to protect the family. And this is probably the most important part. None of them can know.
Wait, why me? Why are you telling me all this? Why doesn't the family know?
You're the only one that I can trust. You're the only one that wouldn't gain anything by my disappearance, so the police would never see you as a suspect.
Okay, my lips are sealed. But what do you want me to do?
Sometime after cake, complain of a stomachache and leave.
I'm gonna head out. I'm not feeling too great, so
Okay,
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good night, Desiree.
Once you're gone, wait until late at night, midnight or so, and come back on foot. Make sure you walk up and down the right side of the drive so you can't be seen by the cameras.
No, right.
Here's the tricky part. You'll have to get into the house unseen. That means you'll have to use the cellar entrance that you can't turn on any lights. Are you with me so far?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, you'll have to leave the ransom note, which I'll write, on the hall table for everyone to find. This will make it look like I was taken. Then climb the stairs to my room and make it look like there was a struggle. Mess up the bed and open the window. Leave the door unlocked and then leave the way you came. Good. A few days will pass before anyone starts asking questions. Everyone will see you leave the party, and as long as no one sees you come back, no one will think of you as a suspect.
Once the investigation begins, you need to make sure that there are no signs that either of us were involved. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, you do.
Remember, this is what's best for the family.
It was a good party. I like when the whole family is around. It feels like the old times. I was making sure to watch for Maisie, who likes to create some trouble, but the night went okay. The cake didn't quite agree with me, so I went home after that. I came back later the next day, only to find Jacqueline gone and the ransom note left in her place.
Did you notice anything strange or off about Jacqueline?
No.
Thank you, Miss Miller. That all sounds about right. Desiree, thank you for what you said in there. I believe something's afoot with this whole affair. I know it, and I believe you know it too. Usually in my investigations, I have a partner, someone to talk things through, an extra pair of eyes, if you will. Tomorrow I begin my investigation of the house and the grounds. I would like you to be by my side.
Me? Why me?
Because you're the only one who had nothing to gain from Jacqueline's disappearance. You're the only person here I can trust. So how about it, Watson?
Hey, if you want my insight into the family, none of them could have possibly done this. Deep down, they're all good people.
Please, assemble a family in the drawing room. I would like to address everyone at once. Thank you all for your patience. You've been extremely helpful in the ascertaining of the truth. I must ask respectfully that you remain on the grounds until we sort this all out.
What do you mean, sort this all out?
I believe one of you knows more than what you're saying, and that the disappearance of Jacqueline Devereaux is more than what it seems. I do suspect foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.